Hi and Assalamualaikum to Dr. Abbas, my fellow teammates and everyone who is watching this video. We are Group 7. My name is Asia.
My name is Aina Safrina.
My name is Aisha.
And I am Ashwin.
So we will be doing our group oral presentation.
So first, we are going to introduce you to reading comprehension strategies. So what is reading comprehension strategies? It is methods to enhance comprehension and lowering the probability of comprehension failure. It is to ensure a long-lasting and deep comprehension. So reading comprehension strategies can be applied to both leisure and academic reading. So there are 5 methods, 5 reading comprehension strategies, but we will only be focusing on 3, which are schemata, inferencing, and metacognitive.
Okay, so the first one is schemata. Okay, next, please. Okay. So, what is schemata? Schemata is a cognitive framework or meta structures that readers use to understand and interpret text. These structures are built from prior knowledge, experiences, and concepts that help readers make sense of what they are reading. Basically, schemata allow people to understand the word better by categorizing and processing experiences based on prior knowledge and understanding.
There are 3 importance of schemata that we want to highlight. For the first one is making predictions. Schema helps readers predict what will happen next in a story or how an argument will unfold. For example, when reading a mystery novel, a reader's schema for how mysteries generally work will guide their expectation about the plot twists and the resolutions. The second one is the filling in gaps. When a text provides only partial information or vague descriptions, readers use their schemata to make inferences and fill in missing details. For instance, a reader might understand the implications of an event even if not all the details are explicitly stated, using their prior knowledge to complete the understanding. The third one is text structure understanding. Different genre and the text types follow distinct structures. For example, narratives such as narratives, expository text, scientific articles. Reader schemata for these types helps them recognize and navigate the structure, aiding comprehension. For instance, in a scientific article, readers might expect a clear introduction, methodology, results, and conclusions, which helps them read more effectively.
Schemata for these types will help you guess what you guys can think about from the importance of schemata.
Okay, wait, let me read it first. We arrived at the beach and descended a wall under our feet. The waves were crashing on the shore and people were swimming and building sandcastles. We spread out our towels and put on sunscreen before heading into the water. So, as someone who has been to the beach before, I can imagine this very well and I can relate to this paragraph. How about you guys?
I think that in this example, you can only say that the sand felt warm under our feet because you have felt it before. You have gone there and you have experienced it for yourself.
Okay, so what you guys stated earlier is you're making a prediction where you have the image in your head and pass it to the next person.
So now we're moving on to the next reading comprehension strategy, which is inferencing. Next. So what is inferencing? Have you guys ever heard of the English idiom reading between the lines?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, next. So the meaning is it refers to understanding a hidden or implied meaning behind something that is clearly stated. To illustrate, we read a text and we do not see it as how it is, but we try to think what's the meaning behind of it. Next. So how can we do the inferences? Next. The first step is we ask questions while reading. For example, author is trying to tap for connections. We link the words in the sentences to make it more sense. And then the third step is we make predictions. When we read the text, we tend to think, oh, what happens next? And then the fourth step is we draw conclusions. We ask ourselves, what can we conclude from this text and what can we gain from this information? Next.
Oh, so it's basically interrelated to each other.
Yes. Correct.
So, I will be talking about the importance of inferencing because after everything that we've been talking about, you guys must be wondering why? Why do we do this inferencing? And that itself is already you inferencing this. As after we've done all of this, it will increase your understanding on implicit text because we're seeing beyond what we read. We're looking beyond the text and we're thinking about what happens. And this will encourage critical thinking because you're thinking more about what you just read. And this promotes contextual vocabulary learning, as when you're thinking behind all of this, you may see words that you've never seen before. And from what you're going through, you will be learning about the meaning of these words, which will in turn improve your reading fluency. And this will aid in detecting bias and intent, which in turn fosters empathy and perspective taking.
It's like
So now, for the fun part, I have a task for you guys. As you guys can see, here is the list of situations and inferences. So I'm gonna need you guys to connect one packing her clothes in a suitcase. What do you think the inference?
can I answer? I think the answer is she is overjoyed.
Good try, but that's the right answer. Who else wants to try?
Can I
Yes,
try?
go ahead, Ain.
Okay, since she's picking her clothes, so basically it shows that she wants to go there, right? So I think she's
Yeah.
going to another country to meet Ashi.
Ooh, that is correct. So moving on to the next one. Isha is buying a cake with candles. What could be the reason?
I think that cake is linked to
Mhm.
celebrations. So, I think she wants to celebrate her little brother's
Good
birthday,
job.
right?
That is correct. And then the next one.
Yeah.
Kim Bok-joo is walking while stomping her feet. What could be the reason? Why is she stomping her feet?
So maybe she is mad
Mm-hmm.
at Jung Jun-hyung.
That is correct. Good job, Safrina. And then moving on. Ain looks pale and exhausted. Why?
Okay, I want to answer this since
Yes.
it's my name. So,
It is because of you.
pale and exhausted, she must be something tiring. So I think she just came back from a frisbee practice.
Ooh, good job. Of course, you know this one. And then the last one. Veronica is jumping and screaming. Why? She's not crazy, by the way.
Well, she must
I
be
just want to say that.
overjoyed for meeting her old friend, Asia.
Yes, that is correct. Moving on.
So it has arrived to our pop section, Ashwin.
Our turn.
We're actually going to talk about something that personally I have never heard of before I learned this officially.
Really, I've known about this and I've been seeing it a lot of times, honestly.
And can you tell us what is metacognitive briefly?
Oh, I can surmise metacognitive in one word. And it is closely related with all of us here, especially you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
But I've never even heard of metacognitive before.
Well, don't have to hear about this word for you to be thinking about what you want to eat for breakfast 10 times a day.
Ouch. So you're saying that I'm an overthinker?
Yes, that's correct. You are overthinking, and overthinking can also be known as metacognitiveness.
It's a very good explanation. And I'll add a little bit on it to sanctify it.
Go on, Miss Scientific. Go on.
So Wilkinson once said that metacognition is the act of thinking about how we think.
So I'm thinking about how I was thinking that I was thinking.
You were thinking about how you think, but then your thinking is being taught by how you think. Okay,
I see.
so it's
Mind
basically like self-reflection. So how do we apply this in reading comprehension? Is that, have you ever read something that is so complicated that you have to read over and over again?
Honestly, yeah, that happens so much, especially when I'm reading for my assignments.
That is metacognition.
Yeah.
You unconsciously apply this in your assignment, as well as in your own life.
Yeah. I never knew that.
So, this is some applications that we do. I'm pretty sure that most of us have done this. There are three basic ways, and my personal favorite is highlighting, underlining, and circling. These three are called text marking in order for us to refer back to what we have read before. So as we see, we went back over and over again for our text, right? So this will highlight our points that we want to stand out. Ash, I've talked a lot about this. Do you know the reasons why we should apply metacognition in reading?
Oh, of course I do. And it links very closely with what you were talking about just now, with highlighting, circling, underlining. Yeah, when you do this, it emphasizes your focus on certain things, and this helps us to stay focused. Yeah, and when we are focused, it will help us to actively process all the information that we are getting in, because there's a lot for us to pay attention to. And when we do this, it will help us in developing skills in synthesizing inferences, like what we were talking about previously.
Ooh, so it refers back to inferences what Asya said just now.
Yeah, it does.
And how about the methods, Asya?
Oh, there are a number of methods that we have to go through. And you know how you were talking about rereading, like when we highlight, we can focus on certain things better. Yeah, this is what methods are all about. When we do this, you are activating your prior knowledge. For example, my favorite example, what do you think about when an apple falls from a tree?
Physics.
Yeah, well, I am thinking about history, about how Einstein was talking about the apple that fell from the tree, and that goes to gravity.
9.81.
Yeah. So, when we read things that we already know, it activates our prior knowledge. It helps us understand better, which is what metacognitive thinking is all about. And you know how you're talking about rereading things? Yeah, rereading section is also one way for us to apply metacognitive thinking in our reading. And when we reread sections, it helps us to go through what we just read to see if we missed out on it. And I know sometimes we are a bit unfocused, but that's okay. And we also can connect and compare to other texts. And this can be done when we're comparing different articles about the same topic. For example, I was talking about history and Albert Einstein about Apple, while Aina was talking about physics. There are different things, but about the same thing. And that is what this is all about.
So basically it's comparing two different texts, but you're finding you're applying this metacognitive because it's a way of approach your comprehension.
Yeah, because we're going to see where the overlap is, and it helps us to compare and contrast with what we already know.
So it all adds up to metacognitive actually.
Yes, everything is metacognitive.
So we have come to our conclusion.
So to
As we
conclude,
explained.
as we have explained, we realize that these strategies are applied and play crucial roles, especially in our studies. Like we have explained before, metacognition, inferencing, and also schemata. So that is all from us, Group 7. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!